Radio Raheem here with Freddie Roach. Freddie, this is the fight that you were asking for. As soon as a Postol beat Matisse, the first words out of your mouth was, "We want Crawford." Just talk to me a bit about how this fight came together. Was it easily made?
It was pretty easily made. The thing is, what I'm proud about is the best fighting the best. I mean, that's what we need in our sport, and when we can do this, there's no other sport that will come near boxing. I mean, boxing, when the best fight the best, we're on top of our game.
You know, you've been on both sides of the equation when it comes to favorites and underdogs. The Postol is considered an underdog in this fight. People expect Crawford to come in and beat him pretty soundly. Well, first of all, why do you think that is? And then, of course, why are they wrong?
Well, he's American TV a lot more than we have been. He's a little bit more well known. But, my guy's a good fighter also. He's a good boxer. They're both very talented in their own rights. I think the best man will win. I think, if it's a 50-50 fight in my book, and, the best man will win, and, the winner will go on to bigger and better things, and the loser, will go back to Nebraska.
I talked to Lucas Matisse over the weekend, and there's a back and forth controversy about whether or not he quit or he was legitimately injured. You haven't been around this sport many times and seen a lot of fights in a lot of different ways. On the night, how did you estimate what happened? Well,
when Matisse went down, everyone jumped up in my corner, and I just stayed sitting down because I said he's going to get up, because I've never seen him stay down, so I really was surprised when he did stay down. He must have been really injured to stay down, because he's a brave guy, and that was a very unusual move for him. But I think he's thinking about his health, and his eye was really must have been in a lot of pain, and it was a great win for us, of course, but the thing is, and I'm glad that he stayed down, but he's a tough guy, but it was a little bit unusual, but the thing is, he must have been suffering pretty bad.
You were an underdog in that fight, too. Postol was able to surprise people with the win. Did you come in, was it a strategy victory, or was it just Postol hitting him with a really hard shot?
No, strategy works well, and we come up with a great game plan for that fight, and we will come up with one with this fight. Everyone thinks that, all of a sudden a guy switching from righty to lefty is like a new thing. Sugar Ray Leonard had no problem with it when Marvin Hagler did it back in the day. Mickey Ward was probably the most effective at it, switching, knocked a lot of guys out when he switched over, but he did it on the ropes. He did a little different technique. It's not they're not inventing the wheel. It's like this has been done before, and a lot of times when you do switch, you get caught in the middle and you're a big target. So it's not a perfect move and so forth, but he does have the speed where he's been able to get away with it. But if we can time that perfectly, of course, we'll take advantage of it, and we will be working on that. And I don't think it's the best move in the world. I think you should perfect one style first and then go on maybe to another. But that's just what the school from Eddie Fudge is where I come from, though. So my guys don't switch too much, but I do have a good sparring partner for Postol, which is Frankie Gomez, because Frankie switches a lot. He does it quite naturally also. He's very quick with it, like Crawford is, and so I think he'll be one of the sparring partners out there, and we'll hire a couple righties and a couple lefties, and we'll be well prepared for what he has to bring.
We've seen that Crawford can kind of start slow, but he ends viciously. He ends abruptly. Do you think the slow start can advantage Postol? And if the fight goes on, is he able to best him late, or are you worried about Crawford being able to end this fight abruptly as the fight goes on?
One thing about Postol, he will not fade. He's a very good fighter. He trains really hard. He's in great condition. He's very patient. He's very patient, and if you notice in the fights, he'll start breaking people down in the early rounds. He won't go for a knockout until he knows that the opponent's ready to go, until he hurts him, and then he'll go for the knockout. But he's very patient. He'll box. He'll be smart. He's a very, very smart boxer. He's not going to go in there just swing and try to get lucky. He'll set everything up, and That's why he's my favorite Ukraine fighter.
We've heard Amir Khan, after being knocked out last Saturday night, is already calling out other fighters. Cotto is one of the first names out of his mouth. How does that matchup look to you, and is that a fight you think can get made?
I'm not sure. I'm coming off a knockout loss. It's a lot of balls. But, I mean, he was knocked out badly. I think he should take some time off right now. But what I was most embarrassed about is that why was his trainer calling out Triple G for the other guy? Is he looking for a job for the other side or something? His guy, help your guy off the floor first, for Christ's sakes. Wow. I mean, come on. Like, it'd be like me getting in the ring and calling. It was ridiculous. I mean, I was really... I think it was wrong.
So
the fighter can do it, of course, and his trainer can do it, but they're part of the action. This guy's with a different camp and says, why don't you fight this guy? What's it his business? I just don't see it.
Right. Now, look, after you and...
So anything that Amir Khan says right now and calls out, I don't really care, because he's going to be suspended for like 90 days or more. There's a very, very severe knockout, right to the hospital afterwards. They say he was okay afterwards. He was at the nightclub, so that was a good sign. But I hope his health is well. But he's not ready for any fight for a little while.
What do you think about the training for the fight? Obviously, you've had your words about what happened afterwards. Do you think he went in with the right game plan? Is there anything he could have done to win that fight?
He had a good game plan. I had him win in the first 5 rounds. I sat there in the third row, and I had him win the first 5 rounds. His speed and combination were great. He was fighting a perfect fight. And I did say if he can do that for 12 rounds, he'll be okay. But as I saw the fight go, Canelo was letting him go to the right. It looked like Canelo was following him a little bit and he kept missing with the hook. And I think he was just getting a little closer. And when he got close enough, he knew the right hand was going to be there. He landed the right hand to the body a couple times earlier just to get, I think, to measure him. And then when he feigned it and he reached with both hands down like that and he hit the right hand, that was a beautiful move. I think that he's becoming a better fighter than people think. I think he's more of him and Triple G's not just a walkover anymore. I think it's a good fight.
Who do you think wins that fight?
Triple G is best pound-for-pound fighter in the world today, I think. But it's a very competitive fight at this point. I think it's a good fight. I don't think it's a blowout by anybody. But I think it's a very interesting, good fight.
Do you think that Canelo was exposed at all, even having won the knockout? Maybe he just didn't have to do more, so he didn't do more. But we've seen guys outbox him, and they're saying he's the best in the sport. Golden Boy is. Is that a hole in his game that can be exposed by other fighters?
Well, if someone can go out there and outbox him and stay disciplined, it'd be okay. I mean, I was offered the fight from Bob Arum for him to fight Manny Pacquiao, and I didn't say no. Because I'm thinking about Pacquiao fighting him and maybe not being strong enough, but being smart enough to fight him for 12 rounds. I think Pacquiao could pull that off, but I'm not sure exactly where we're at right now because my fighter's somewhat retired because he's a senator. So I'm going to have a long talk with Manny and see what he thinks about that fight. And if he thinks the same way I do, he could be the next guy. I mean, unless we maybe get Mayweather back to the table one more time. I mean, I still think Manny has maybe one fight in him because the way he trained for that last fight was really good. The way he fought the last fight, I saw a lot of the old Manny Pacquiao come back. I was really happy to see the old Manny Pacquiao come back like that. He fought a very good fight. I was very pleased with his performance, and I'll be happy if he retires also. I'll be happy whichever way he wants to go. But I would like to get him ready for one more fight.
Well, Floyd Mayweather has trademarked 50. He likes to tease us, and there's talk about there's maybe a Pacquiao-Mayweather rematch being floated. Has anyone floated that too? Is this a real serious rumor?
Just a rumor right now. I don't think anything's for sure yet. I was offered to fight from Bob Arum for Canelo, but Mayweather, there's been... Bob did call me that day at 8 o'clock in the morning and said, why'd you have dinner with Mayweather last night? I said, Bob, we're in the same restaurant and we took a picture together.
Did you have a conversation with him?
No, we just took a picture. We just said hi and shook hands and that was it. you know. And I had like 6 boxing fans at my table, and he took pictures with all of them. He was very nice, which he always is to me. And you know, and we never spoke about fighting. You know, we just said hello, how you doing, and that was about it.
You left the window open. Obviously, you want another Pacquiao fight. Knowing where Pacquiao's mentality is, how he trained post-fight, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being a definite comeback, where do you think we are in the possibility of one more Manny Pacquiao fight?
That really depends on how the schedule a senator has, you know, because being a congressman is one thing, but being a senator might be a lot more time-consuming, a lot more taxing on him. So I'm really not sure if he can do it and still be a good senator. So I know he likes politics, and I would like him to really succeed as a senator. And if he does that, he'll maybe become president someday. So, but you know, I can see Manny Pacquiao going in the ring, Senator Manny Pacquiao. He would love that too, you know. So I'm probably going to say 5 because I'm right. I'm in the middle myself.
And lastly, Freddie, if it isn't Pacquiao Mayweather, just being, you know, an observer of the sport, a lover of boxing, if we see 50, if Mayweather fights one more, who would you like to see in the ring with him?
No, I still want to see Manny Pacquiao, so I can't really think of anything that would give him a good fight because, you know, it certainly won't be a fighter from the MMA.
McGregor, that's ridiculous, right?
But they did ask me if I'll train him.
They asked you to train McGregor?
Yes.
For Mayweather?
No.
Or just to train him?
Just to train him.
But that's an indication. That's interesting. What did you say?
I said, sure, bring him down.
Wow. All right.
I'd like to see him. I want to meet the guy and see what he has. So, you know, he seems like a nice kid.
You think you could give him hands enough to fight a boxing match?
No. I don't even know what level he's at right now. I couldn't say that without working with him. So he looks like a good kickboxer, but that's all I've seen him at, though. You know, as a boxer, I've never seen him box before, so I really don't know.
Radio Raheem with Freddie Roach, another legendary fighter, a legendary trainer, and a wonderful interview. I always appreciate the time, man. Radio Raheem, Freddie Roach.